All right, what is up, guys? Just let me get this situation. Bear with me. This is my first YouTube live stream. And there we go. All right, what's up, guys? War Chronicles here with my first ever live stream on YouTube. And tonight you can join me as I animate the final battle scenes for Wreckers Penance Part 1 and ask any questions you have about me, my channel, and the Transformers stop-motion project I'm doing. If you're new to the War Chronicles universe, tonight I'm animating battle scenes for Part 1 of my next full stop-motion project, Wreckers Penance, featuring Springer, Impactor, RC, Javelin, and Warpath against Shockwave. If you want to follow the War Chronicles story from the start, check out the link below to watch my first stop-motion film, Praxus Run. If you want to see a teaser for Wreckers Penance Part 1, there's a link for that below as well. And please be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and comment down below. Your support on this channel keeps me making more Transformers stop motion for y'all. Now, I had some of y'all send me questions you wanted me to answer, so I'll go through those first while I start setting up. So I have a question from Marvelous Prime on how long the Wreckers Penance Part 1 would be. I'm still in the editing phase, so I don't have an exact number down, but it's probably tracking to be between 15 and 20 minutes just for Part 1. Probably by the time I'm done, Wreckers Penance will be, with all 3 parts, 30 to 45 minute movie. Let's see. Now that I actually misplaced the phone I'm using for the camera. Give me one sec. Who got in the chat here? Shout out to let me know if you're here. Oh, you know, that's ridiculous. My phone is actually right here. Alright, now we're setting up for the stop motion. So here we have RC. So for this scene, I want RC to actually be struggling just a skosh with maybe super with a little bit of heavier armor plating. So let's see. Okay. So basically I want to showcase that RC is more of a speed fighter, not a strength fighter. I'll turn on my overhead. There we go. And then she's going to basically defer to Impactor to deal the heavier blows. We've got 3 people in the chat so far, so if you want to, pop in the chat, say hi, let me know you're here. We can talk some more while I animate. And then I did have another question from Eyes Wide Open Entertainment. What's up, Supersonic Autobots? Hey, Marvelous. Hopefully I got to answer your question. If not, I will put this video up afterwards, so you'll be able to hear my answer to your question after I post it. But while I start setting up, I did have another question from Eyes Wide Open Instagram. He asked, what other concepts would I consider exploring in Transformers War Chronicles projects? And I'd say that's a really tough one. Obvious Obviously, I love exploring the War for Cybertron. I feel like that's always like a flashback or a very short part of what Transformers is. For example, the Bumblebee movie or even G1, they go to Cybertron rarely or not at all. But I think Cybertron is the most interesting part because they're not some gimmicky uh, robot mixed in with the human planet. They're just themselves, and it gives more space for character development. Whereas you don't get that so much with the human characters because the human characters are, in essence, the audience's window into what Transformers are. So that by default makes the human the main character. Let's see. And then got my handy dandy little clicker thing here. This this bad boy has actually been one of my favorite purchases that I've ever gotten, along with the tripod that holds this. This actually comes with the tripod, but just being able to not touch the potentially unstable camera is, well, it's pretty much a blessing. I'm sure I'll get my sea legs a little further into this live stream, but if you're watching this after the fact, when I post it on my channel, and I sound a little iffy, don't worry, it will get better, I promise. Okay, and first shot is away. Alright, so basically what we're animating right now is a short little short little shot here where our RC brings both blades forward against the speaker, and it essentially kind of bounces off the armor. So going for a strike, she's expecting the armor to be a little lighter, and it is not. So it's a very heavy stroke for her size, but even though Yoda says size matters not, I would beg to differ. If you're smaller, you have to be smarter in a fight. Smarter and preferably faster. Mm, good so far. One thing I will say about this RC figure is she does have some funky hip joints, so her balance is not always great. It is better than my impactor, which has a lot of PC issues with the hips. So he has a problem where his legs will kind of like spread if he's just standing up. I do love animating with a good siege seeker. Siege seekers are honestly some of the best things to come out of move the arm on that one. Move one arm, I didn't move the other. I think siege seekers are the best thing to come out of the siege line. Uh, they're probably behind the siege optimist figure, which even though I got the 86 Studio Series Optimus, I still do love Siege Optimus. He is a great and very detailed figure for his size class, and he's super photogenic. I'm gonna have to twist that shoulder joint all the way in. Nobody notices. It looks like we had one more person join the chat. What's up, man? Or woman? Speaker reached over her head because he underestimated the power of short people. Eyes wide open. Okay, eyes wide open. I will answer your question again because I don't know if you were in the chat before I got to your question. I did answer it once already, but I'm happy to answer it again while you're here so we can have a more open dialogue. Up, Striker! Right, for those of you who don't know, Striker voices a couple different parts in Wreckers Penance, the main one being Springer, the main character, and then he also has some smaller roles as well, including the announcer for the beginning of the video, and then oh my gosh, what was the other role? It's on my script. Striker, can you remind me which other character you play besides the announcer and Springer? Yeah, so on Eyes Wide Open Entertainment, on your question about what other concepts I'd consider exploring in the War Chronicles stop motion universe, um, always love exploring the War for Cybertron, which is what I'm doing right now. The War for Cybertron always seems like such a slept on dynamic. Just because you don't have the CJ, how you doing, girl? Uh, but just because the human element in Transformers, it complicates things. Because the humans don't know anything about Transformers, they are our narrative skids and cogs. Thank you, Striker. Appreciate it. Um, I think humans are humans are sort of our window into who the Transformers are because they basically encourage the bulk of expositionary dialogue. There's a word for that. I completely forgot what it was, but there is a word for like that POV character that is kind of your window into a different fantasy world or setting. But humans by default they take away some character development from the Transformers because they're by default the everyman trope. That's what it is. Thank you, PJ. Because there's always got to be one person that's like normal that's coming into a situation that's not normal to the audience. And so they basically encourage exposition so that you know what's going on. almost to that blade strike on the Seeker, and then I want to give a little bounce back because the armor is too darn thick. Glad to see the chat getting more lively. I was worried I was just going to be talking to myself. Striker. By the way, I think there's a character I should be in this universe. Ooh, I like Anime Striker. Do you have any ideas on other characters you'd like to voice? I would love to hear it. Your Springer voice as well as your other voices have been really fantastic. Entire scenario is not as normal. It weeds out weaker audience members. Yes, I agree. I think exposition can be overdone to a point if you're treating the audience like they're dumb. Like not everything has to be clearly defined in your face. Sometimes it just has to. Yes, CJ. CJ uh, has been cast as Strong Arm for a future project. Can't say much about Strong Arm's role at the moment because that will have major spoilers for Wreckers Penance. But suffice it to say, Strong Arm will be in a potential sequel to Wreckers Penance, and CJ will be voicing her. Who should just be in this universe now? Who should I voice especially? I'd love to voice him, but I mean, he should be in it just in. Oh, you're talking about Springer. Okay, I completely misread your question before. But yeah, no, I think Springer definitely needs to be in more Transformers media. Oh shoot, okay. You have to give me a second. I'm a little slow in the chat. You're good. Typing is not the same as talking, no matter what anyone says, so there's a bit of a disconnect. Yes, I agree, CJ. I think TF1 did a great job of establishing the story for new viewers. I think Death Head should be in this universe at the time. Yeah, I don't have the Death Head figure. Uh, it's a Marvel Legends figure, isn't it? Like there was a crossover or something. I'm not super well versed in who Death Head is, but I've seen the figure and he looks pretty cool. Now we'll get into a bounce back on these blades. Gotta make sure it's subtle at first and then comes off stronger. What do you think is your favorite character and easiest to animate with? I animated him a few times for Autovember and a couple of times in some tester animations that I may turn into some more content for you guys later. But this might seem like a cliche, but 86 Optimus is a joy to work with. Everything about him is so photogenic and crisp and easy to work with, and his articulated fingers and his moving finials are super, super expressive. The Striker, he's a character that was made for Marvel's Transformers series. Oh, okay, cool. I haven't actually read a lot of Marvel's Transformers series. I have like the big guide from like 2008, 2007, 2008, but it just gives an overview of storyline in Marvel Comics. Since it's a visual medium, it's just better to convey information visually rather than explain through dialogue. That way, audiences can connect pieces of the narrative on their own. Yes, I agree. I actually once saw this post. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's a repost from Tumblr that said plot holes are pockets where fans can put their fan fictions. And I thought that was a really cool point. Here, 1 second, I'm gonna play back this bounce. Yep, okay, it's looking good. But yeah, where was I? Yes, conveying things visually. Plot holes are the pockets where fans can put their fan fiction in. And I think it's a great point. You don't want everything to be so fleshed out that it leaves no room for the audience's imagination. Like, if you have to explain everything to the audience feels talked down to. They feel they feel like they're being treated as dumb, like a like like some old person who you have to explain the entire movie to because they weren't paying attention. Let's see. Try to get fan language girly is a really good essay on Hands of Atlantis. I've been meaning to watch Atlantis. I haven't actually watched Atlantis yet. I do want to though because I've seen really cool clips of it and I've heard good things. And now she's going to duck under and just stab him like in the midsection. Let's see. Striker Chris McFeely made a video on Death's Head. Okay, cool. I'll have to check that out. I love Chris McFeely. Everything he does is so concise and he pulls from so many sources so you never feel like there's a random universe he left out. Let's see. The most angry plot hole is the erasure of Skids and his relationship with Nautica. Girl, do not start with me about the doomed Skids and Nautica relationship. They freaking deserved happiness. And yes, I have not seen Atlantis. I really want to, but I need to find out where it's streaming. I haven't actually like sat down and taken the time to watch Atlantis, but I do really want to. Bear with me if I slow down for a minute. I gotta concentrate on some of these deeper shots. Does this shot look good? Yep, okay. Can't be made under Transformers banner. Oh yeah, that makes sense because of the separation of Marvel and Transformers now. Everything's really so like it's like we used to have crossovers back in the day and like fun stuff, and now it's like, oh, licensing, Disney won't let that happen or whatever because Disney owns freaking everything now. But Disney, Elon Musk own everything. But Marvel made some BS claim that they own Death's Head. Yeah, kind of. I mean, I've always thought Marvel Comics was kind of separate from MCU, since where they've got all their movie deals split up among like Sony and Fox and Disney Marvel itself, like the mainstream Marvel. But I can totally see Disney making that claim. That's something they would do. Um, Lockdown's just Death's Head replacement in TF. Oh, okay, that makes a lot of sense actually. And I do love Lockdown as a character. My friend's first introduction to him was Transformers Animated, and while it's not my favorite of the Transformers show, don't come for me. Uh, I do like how Lockdown was portrayed in that, and I feel like he really gave the Autobots some grief compared to other villains. Do a more comic accurate figure. CJ, I want them together so much potential. Dude, you undid so much of the East. I was rewinding from there want the actual thread. Yes, I would watch a rant video on you going over all the doomed ships or ships that didn't quite make it in IDW because there's a freaking lot of them. Let's see. Try it again. Got mine yesterday and he's awesome. Yes, the new Lockdown, it's a little short, but it is very well made. I'm enjoying him because he scale well. He is standard deluxe class size. I do wish he was Voyager, but I'm not mad about it. The sculpting looks great. The paint apps look great. and he moves pretty nicely. Transformers creation, but Marvel pulled something and now they own. Yep, Marvel always be pulling something. That's why I'm not a huge fan of animating either. I have very creative ideas. Oh yeah, it was super creative, and parts of it I did enjoy. Mainly the parts I didn't enjoy was Bumblebee's voice drove me up a wall, and then also I feel like the stakes weren't always super high until we got into the later seasons, because really the only recurring villains were Blitzwing and Lugnut were the most consistent ones, and then they had other Decepticons occasionally. Mostly it was like human problems. It's like, oh no, you've got some Speedy guy, and then you have like Speedy guy, and then you got like Power Princess, and then you got like Meltdown. Like, cool, but like, where are my Decepticons? And then Black Arathia did not get nearly as much screen time as I wanted for her, because they also decided to make her double as my favorite character, which is the leader one, and I don't feel like that resolved really well for either Alita / Black Arachnia or Optimus. Uh, Death's Head, yeah, Marvel IP, Transformer sized character shrunk by Doctor Who. What the heck? Uh, only recently got into CFA after accidentally losing fandom because of Prime, but I gotta say somehow they made me not enjoy B very much, but Prowl is. Yeah, I like Prowl. I He's nothing like other Prowl. Like, he's one of those iterations of the character where like it's in name only. It's basically a name reuse, but he is very cool in his own way. The Autobots were treated more like superheroes than soldiers. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like, and maybe it's just me, but I'm very sick of like the Marvel standard superhero formula in like cartoon and movies. Like, give me some good one shots about characters who are like fighting like a war. Like, they're literally at war. They're not like fighting villain of the week. Like, the Decepticons are the villain of the century for them. Like, I take a lot of inspiration as far as narrative focus and storytelling from the Halo games, actually, because I think Halo is a very good example of what building in character development in, into a military setting. Like, I feel like Halo does a really good job of that. It does a really good job of making things both stoic and emotional. Okay. At some point, the Seeker's gonna need to turn his brain, or I'm not gonna see the stab. You can see I kind of animated myself into a corner on this one, so he's gonna have to pull the heck back. Probably gonna slow up on the twist on the camera here. Let's see. Tension potential. Uh, Doctor Who. Yeah, like, where did Doctor Who come in? Marvel comics were wild back in the day. CJ, there's a lot of good dark writing in writing Optimus corrupted Alita. I love falling in love with a twisted version of someone's more intense show. I think it's nice character exploration for both. Yes, I agree. I enjoyed that part. I also really enjoyed an exploration into the Autobot bureaucracy and how peacetime affected the way that they looked at the possibility of a war returning, the way they treated Decepticons as far as not considering them huge threats. I think, honestly, I feel like that is what the sequel trilogy could have been with respect to the good guys won, but they're complacent, and the enemy returns but stronger than ever type scenario in a sci-fi genre. I kind of feel like that is what the sequels could have been, and I don't feel like we got that out of the sequels, which was disappointing. The Star Wars sequels, I should clarify. Let's see. Talk Death's Head to death, didn't we? That was funny, Striker. Oh yeah, one of my besties is a huge fan of Halo. Yes, my brother is actually the reason I got into Halo. Sierra 228 Productions. He does some of my voices and also produces my stop motions. Might do like an interview or like a live stream with him, so y'all can meet him and get some of his hot takes on the War Chronicles universe. Let's see. Hi, Michael. Nice to meet you. Striker, I want to play the Halo games, but I don't have an Xbox that works. Oof. That's a shame. Like, it feels like Xbox is just peter out after a while. Like, what is it with not making things of quality these days? Like, I'm not gonna always buy the latest thing. That's how I feel about this phone. Like, it has a short battery life, but it is the last phone size that it's the last phone size that fits well into my small hands, because I have the small Asian hands. And don't worry, my mother is Asian. I am allowed to make that joke. Let's see. F Sentinel Prime. Yes. He is like, it's like the Doctor Strange meme, but in reverse. I hate you in every universe. Interdimensional portal, Doctor Who shrunk him down to human size. Holy crap. I didn't know Doctor Who was so, like, intertwined with Transformers and Marvel. Eyes wide open. My dad was my producer when I was younger. Right? See? Family. Family is always the first like true crew you ever have. I remember making like stop motion videos when I was a kid, and I just have me and my brother and our little kid voices just doing our best impressions of like Optimus Prime and Grimlock, and obviously they were way too high pitched, but it was fun. I like singing the Halo song every once in a while and try and get the girls to sing in the high school bathroom like the memes, but cowards, a lot of them. This is why I have so many guy friends. Yes. I do agree though that you have to play with the key a bit more if you're girls trying to vocalize the Halo theme, because it's a very deep chorus. But yes, just like those memes where it's like, I bet he's out cheating, and it's just a bunch of dudes doing the Halo chorus in a stairwell. I love those memes so much. The funny thing is, though, in those he's probably out cheating videos, and then it's like they're recreating Star Wars or something. Like, I wouldn't be wondering if my boyfriend was out cheating. I would be joining him, and I would be very upset if he didn't invite me to do something like Halo singing or lightsaber fight. I am too much of a nerd to let that slide. Let's see. The thing stuck with me for 10 years, and finally it reaches its end. 10 years. Okay, you got some good life out of that. 360 or Xbox One? Let's see. CJ was only forced to get a new phone recently because my family forced me to. Yeah. Does your family do the whole thing where when like one of the parents gets a new phone, everyone like hands their phones down so that you get like one version newer but not the newest, obviously, because you're the kid? Small hands, Striker. Yes, I have small hands. They're itty bitty. They're good for stop motion though. They can get in some tight spaces with these smaller characters. It'd be good for dentistry if I had any care about doing dentistry. A good friend of mine is trying to get me into Doctor Who, but we haven't watched it together. Doctor Who was I only watched, I think it was like 10th or 11th Doctor Who, but it was like kind of uncanny for me. And and like most like sci-fi fantasy stuff doesn't freak me out, but like I don't know why, but there was something uncanny about like the oh my gosh, I watched this like episode with like these aliens that wore like human skin suits, but they farted a lot and I didn't understand it. Uh Michael C, my parents don't like the fact that I buy Transformers. I mean my parents are pretty supportive of it. I mean, I think once I get this channel monetized, uh it'll be an even easier argument for why I buy Transformers and be like, "Mom, this is for my side hustle," you know? I'm like halfway to that first tier of monetization where you can do like super chats, but I'm not quite there yet. Let's see. Scroll back up in the chat because eyes wide open, entertainment, random thought. Anyone ever thought about whoever taught Windblade how to use a sword? In my mind, Di Atlas could have been her teacher. Ooh, yes, that's a good one. I've always wondered about that. I probably, if I had to guess, like Windblade seems to come from like an almost royal element of Caminus. So I wouldn't be surprised if they had like a ceremonial training regimen, sort of, and like the torchbearers taught her how to fight. Mostly it was a ceremonial sword, but used for self-defense. That's kind of my headcanon about Windblade's sword fighting ability. CJ, I had my mom help me as a video recorder when I would act and goof around as a kid, but also same. Michael C, I wish my folks could have, wish I could have more useful interests. Hey, if you can make money, it is very useful. So you just got to figure out how to make money, and then they probably won't mess with you so much about it. So no one can argue with a little bit of extra cash flow. Let's see. Striker, y'all want to hear my concepts for fourth reimagining of my Regenerations universe? Yes, I would love to. I want to hear all your reimaginings and headcanons. I might steal your ideas, patent them before you throw them out into the void. Let's see. CJ the Fox, because our Apple devices are connected, so it's cheaper paying for one plan than many. Yes, we're the same way. Like my computer and my iPad are on my Apple device, but are on my Apple ID, but all the family's phones are on one plan because saves money. Your luck, have small hands. My hands are big. Ugh, that's a shame. I can't think of having like hands double my size and trying to fiddle with a tiny figure's head. Wait, what? Hi, Lexi. Welcome to the chat. CJ, my hands are also itty bitty but really strong because I helped my mom with neck rubs since she has spine problems for a bit because of car accidents. Ooh, hope your mom's doing okay. I thought it would be Chromia or the Mistress of Flame herself. Yeah, I wonder if the Mistress of Flame like knows how to fight and just like doesn't like really broadcast it. Or yeah, I would definitely not put it past Chromia to teach her to fight. Hang on one second. Let's see. I have been still getting comments of, okay, yeah, but art isn't a real job. What are you actually gonna do? Yeah, that is why I have a semi-art real job. I'm a graphic designer, so I can be both practical, but then also make some actual money. It's not straight creative because it has an advertising component to it, but it is somewhat creative. And I actually add skills to my resume by doing my stop motion editing because there's a lot of graphic design jobs that consider it a bonus if you know your way around Premiere Pro and After Effects and know how to stitch videos. Striker. Oi, what's up, Striker? I'll actually share the scripts I've written down in the server. Oh yeah, absolutely. Put them in the server. I'd love to see them. This version I haven't started writing yet. Alright, bye Michael. Nice to meet you. Eyes wide open. I hope the Mistress Flame knows how to fight. She walks around with that big ass hammer. It might just be for show, you don't know. Could be like an homage to Soulless, but she does like freaking nothing with it. Like I don't know, like that whole headdress and cape thing, it seems a bit heavy. Like would she know how to maneuver that in a fight? Like, I wouldn't, I'll say that for sure. Current version, first thing mentions the Autobots are run more like a police force or a military run by a Cybertronian council who are alive here. I have always thought about potentially doing that. I don't know if I would do it in the War Chronicles universe, but it's an idea I've definitely toyed with. Because then I think it would be interesting to have kind of a bureaucracy to the Autobots that is also sort of not like the enemy, but just like an obstacle. Because I think Optimus Prime would definitely be someone who bulks under a bureaucracy. And I think he would definitely come and lock horns with a high council situation. Sleep well, Michael. Dude, it's like $200+ It just made me nothing to you. But again, first graduation wasn't real news. My associates and offering to. Oh man, I'm sorry about that. Your folks seem not the most fun people in the world. Not to insult them, but just from what you're telling me, not the most fun people. Wouldn't say she knows how to fight, but then she did bitch slap Windblade. Yes, she did. I was kind of mad at her for that because Windblade is too pure for this world and did not deserve that. The whole story picks up after the war ends, kind of. Oh, okay, I see. I mean, I've thought about the council being a thing during the war would be a good thing, but after the war ends, there would definitely need to be. I mean, he's done it once already. See you in Peace out, Michael. Love my family, but I don't exactly like them all the times. Yeah, I mean, that's everyone. You always have disagreements with your family, but if you stick up for them, they stick up for you. That is worth way more than any online presence or any friendship you could have. After being on Earth for a year in a big battle, Lita being Ironhide die. Oh man, Lita dies. I mean, I can't really say much because I killed off Lita. Also, I kind of regret it now, so I'm definitely doing some prequel stuff that includes her further down the line. Probably after Wreckers Penance, I'll do like a TF1 type prequel that has more Alita because I miss doing stuff with her. Love Windblade so much. Been reading too many Windscream fics. Windscream fics are like a whole separate genre from other Transformer ship fics. I was getting ready to say, let her live. Let my space parents be happy. No, CJ. Because every good story is equal parts fluff and heartbreak. Prime absolutely destroys Beth, beats him to death out of anger and rage. Alita was clever, B was a younger soldier, treating him as a son. Oh man, Striker. Not been making me cry this late at night. Bruh. Okay. Seeker is about to get freaking stabbed. Pierces the armor right under the wing there, which actually, what's up again, Supersonic? Which actually, and a fun little bit of knowledge for you guys, I took karate self-defense classes and went all the way to Black Belt 13. And one of the things we learned in weapons handling was that if you have a knife or a sharp object, stab them either behind the knees or in the armpit, somewhere that where a joint is, but not a lot of muscle or bone, so that it will hurt and potentially reopen every time they try to move again and come after you. So yeah, that's violent tips from Sensei War Chronicles. Bro, deserve more dreamwave-like depictions. It's more than one way to bring angst than killing love interest, brutally wounding them, having realistic fights. Watch the other person in pain. Totally haven't felt this. I'm not convinced, CJ. I'm honestly not convinced. Stab. Let's see. Gotta figure out how to resolve this shot. Gotta turn her head a little bit more, that's for sure. This RC actually has like the strangest head. Like on her left side, her head moves in good increments, but on her right side, it only turns in like 3 ways. It's like a weird, almost ratcheting joint. He now resides on Earth with a couple of loyal bots who believe Optimus did the right thing. Bulkhead, Sunstorm, Cliffjumper, and Chromia, Ironhide's May. Oh no, Chromia's a widow? No! On Earth, they basically hunt down remaining Decepticons who are led by Bludgeon. That's actually crazy. I have toyed with the idea of Bludgeon being one of the leading the Decepticons that get down to Earth in the War Chronicles universe. May or may not end up doing that. I do also want to use Lockdown, so maybe not. No, not Widow Chromia. That's sweet. I also took self-defense kickboxing. It's the only girl and only kid in the room. 14 with a bunch of 20-year-old guys got beat up, but taught me a ton. Yes. I took the adult classes with my mom when I was a kid, and all of them were a lot bigger than me. I'm not even that tall now. I'm 5 even, so imagine me being like 3.5, 4 feet tall in an adult's karate class. But we did learn a lot of useful things about breaking bones and stabbing people with their own knives. Sandstorm. Damn, I can't type. That's okay. I was fully prepared to believe that Sunstorm, the Yellow Seeker, just joined them for some reason, turned on the Decepticons. You know, it's not completely unheard of. I mean, I'm sure Starscream's a terrible boss. Maybe he just wanted out. I say this as Sunstorm is getting stabbed under the wing by RC right now. Hi, Luca. Nice to see you in here. Would you ever get back into martial arts? Asking because I'm considering doing kickboxing again. So I actually found out that as I've gotten older, I have inherited a family medical condition where my ankles have an extra bone that overstretches the Achilles tendon. So I am twice as likely as the average person to sprain or break my ankles now. So sadly, while I can practice a little bit by myself to keep my skills sharp, I probably won't take it as a form of exercise again. I think your RC might have a mismolded ball joint. That's why her head movement's like that. Interesting to know. I probably won't take her off her head and find out, because I get terrified of like breaking figures and trying to like quote unquote fix them. Mini size bot. Yep, I'm mini sized. No, I don't even own him. Hey, I was around the same age when I did kickboxing with a bunch of grown sweaty ass dudes. Yes, very sweaty, very sweaty. Also, Starscream's long dead in this universe. That makes sense. Did Megatron just like get pissed off with him, or did he actually die bravely in battle? So So dumb, I thought this was live on Instagram. What is up, Prince? How are you doing? Let me check at the time on this stream. Okay, I might wrap up here in like a minute or two because I have stuff I got to do tomorrow. But I am almost done with this shot. Oh, not the pit stab. I've been shot there myself in paintball. Cybertron Council basically calls Grimlock the hero, and it goes to his head. Oh, geez. That's, are you going with, like, more of a G2, like Grimlock is the boss? Grimlock is the boss type of deal? I always thought that was weird. I was like, okay, so let me get this straight. In G2, Grimlock and Blaster are basically vying for control of the Autobots because Optimus is dead. Striker Ultra Magnus, who lost his armor, is now just Albino Prime, leader of a new elite guard, and he starts to grow suspicious of the council. Nice. To be a Starscream fan is equivalent of that song. I hate you, I love you, I hate that I love you. Prince, how's animating today? It's going pretty decently, honestly. I've been a little distracted with the chatting because I love talking to people more than I love animating, apparently, but the shot is turning out pretty well. Me, Grimlock president now. In regards to the Starscream question, no, Starscream just died being too stupid to live. Natural selection at its finest. And Starscream have an immortal spark in your universe. Let's see. Should probably have Sunstorm, like, throw his head back, like a little, like, I got stabbed in the pit. Prince, I wish I could have joined sooner, but I was busy all day. Hey, no shame, man. I struggle to join live streams sometimes because I'm like, well, oh shoot, they're streaming now. I wish I had a block of time that I could carve out to just come and sit in the chat, but I don't always have that. But yeah, I totally get it. Which version of Starscream do you think is the best? Personality-wise, IDW. Design-wise, probably Fortron. During this, Rodimus basically can make the Lost Light journey with much smaller crew. I can't decide if a much smaller crew would make the whole crew more unhinged, or if they would actually be a little bit more contained because it's such a small crew. Cybertron Starscream is my favorite Starscream design. He does look very cool in that. I wasn't a fan of his later blue iteration, but he has a very clean design before he becomes a Autobot. Love shenanigans with the Lost Light crew. Yes, the Lost Light is freaking hilarious. Although I heard like someone say that Rodimus is like headcanon too, or is like confirmed to have like a British accent, and I don't know why, but I'm like not seeing that. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not seeing like a full Judd Nelson situation with that hot rod, but I also don't see like a British guy for him. IDW Starscream is so well written. He is. That whole like Windblade arc where like the freaking Titan or whatever generates Starscream in his mind, generates Megatron and Starscream's mind to like scare him, and then Windblade shows him what his true form would be if he hadn't been constructed cold. Like, that was just chef's kiss. Yes, British Rodimus is what 80s frat boy, absolutely. Like, think like Michael J. Fox, Back to the Future. That's my headcanon for IDW Rodimus's voice. I was gonna do a straight up IDW adaptation, a couple changes out of necessity, but I found when I tried to write the series I got bored. Yeah, that's like part of the thing with the stop motion series is You gotta figure out what entertains you as well as your audience so you don't get bored while making this. IDW Rodimus, the epitome of Western hothead. Oh yes, absolutely. He's he's like that wet behind the ears kid always trying to prove himself. Like oh my gosh, Magnificent Seven. There's a kid like that in Magnificent Seven. True form Starscream scene made me cry. Like, how can you not ship them after that? Yes, absolutely. Is Hot Rod even in your universe or nah? Probably not. Mostly because the only version of Hot Rod that I have is the Power of the Primes Hot Rod, and I really don't like that figure. I have been looking a lot for a good condition of an 86 Hot Rod, but I've had no success. So if I were to have Hot Rod, I would probably replace him with Hot Shot, because I think in terms of being like an Optimus protege type of situation, they are pretty similar. He sounds like Marty McFly, fight me. Absolutely. Absolutely. My changes in question or swapping out a few characters and adding Megatron to the crew from the very start. Yeah, or I don't know. I feel like Megatron was kind of the reason like everything blew up in the first place in Robots in Disguise Volume 4. Like he may have turned to Autobot shortly after that, but he was a good catalyst, so I can see why. I can see why he was in there. I'd be interested to see what it was like if he wasn't there and he joined the Lost Light from the start. If anyone that crews British, Cyclonus. Oh, Cyclonus is 1,000% British. He's like that kind of snooty British, like royal British, but like also deep. Like I imagine he sounds like this, like almost a Snape-esque, like Severus Snape from Harry Potter. I made this on accident, but I made a ship of my Lost Light Megs with Minerva. Now that is something I'd be interested to see. You don't see Megatron shipped with a woman very often. That'd be interesting to see. Do you collect Bayverse figures at all, by the way? A little bit. I've kind of dropped off collecting them, but I do have a couple of them. I do enjoy a good Bayverse Bumblebee. I do have the Bayverse Studio Series 05 Optimus Prime that I used in Praxus Run. Eyes wide open. When crafting a story, you should feel like you're making the best story you would want to read or watch, and that is how you make peak fiction, for real, for real. Yes, I feel like making entertainment is it's a balance between your vision and what the audience wants to see. Because if you do too much of what your vision is, the audience is going to feel like this was a vanity project and they're going to lose interest. But if you don't have your vision and you just like go from a purely marketing standpoint what you think the audience wants, then why does the audience care? Like the audience needs something unique out of you, and they need your perspective. They need your take on these tales, because if you decide not to be authentic to yourself when you tell stories, then I feel like the audience can sense that, and it seems like an almost corporate-esque cash grab, vanity project, whatever you want to call it. Let's see. Striker, have no fear. They're making an Excellion repaint of Cybertron Hotshot, so you can use that for Hot Rod. Ooh, yes. Yes, I would like that. I didn't even know Excellion was a thing until I watched Crosshair Productions' Search for Alpha Trion, which is an excellent movie, by the way. If you have not seen that, please go watch it. It is one of my biggest inspirations in my own stop motion universe. So, search for Target Alpha Trion by Crosshair Productions. If you haven't seen it, you should go watch it. I think Purvy's animation has skid Scottish. I don't hate it, I just don't get it either. Yeah, I don't necessarily understand. Deep voice British King, absolutely. It's basically replacing Red Alert in the story. It's just a big thing that helps Megs learn to choose violence. Yes. Yes, I agree. I feel like yes, having a medic would be good for that, because then you tap into a gentler side for Megatron, And then also maybe she teaches him a few things. Because I think in IDW he told Ratchet at some point he wanted to be a medic before he became the leader of the Decepticons. He wanted to be a medic. Imagine Velocity having a Southern mom accent. Ooh, yes, I think Velocity could be Southern. I was thinking of Nautica as having like, she has like either like Midwestern or possibly like Valley Girl accent. I wonder why you use Rise of the Beast B and Siege RC instead of the Bumblebee movie figures. Um, honestly, the Bumblebee movie figures, I love a good yellow on my B, and I feel like the Cybertron Bumblebee movie B doesn't have enough yellow on him. I think the Rise of the Beast one has a really good amount of yellow. Maybe that's too much yellow for some people, but me personally, that's the right amount of yellow. For RC, I was just looking for something that was more IDW looking, because there's a big part of RC's character that is based on IDW in the War Chronicles universe. And the Bumblebee movie RC is just giving more, it's just giving like slightly more soldier vibes when I'm going for like a specialist assassin type vibe. At the same time, part of him rubs off on her and kind of makes her give up her pacifism. I think they could come to an understanding, the two of them. I think Megs would learn not to be so violent. I think Minerva would learn that in certain situations she has to fight and fight to kill if she's going to survive. Because I'm always of the opinion that like pacifism's great until your life or someone else's life is in danger. Like if you have to kill someone to protect yourself or the people that you care about, do it, but only do it if you have no other choice. But I am 100% on the side that pacifism shouldn't come at the expense of other people's lives. It's a nice personal philosophy to have, but it doesn't always play out super well when your life or other people's lives are at stake. I want Hasbro to make a Velocity figure. It'd be interesting. I agree. I think they need to make another Nautica before they work on Velocity, because I think they only made the Headmaster Nautica, and I would love for them to retool Bumblebee movie RC or that new Solus mold into a Nautica. Yeah, see, I also thought Excellion was his OC because it looks so much like Hotshot. And I think it was a Hotshot figure, and I was like, I just gave him a different name, I guess. Not gonna lie, Scottish Skids sounds fun to me. It does sound fun. Like, it doesn't feel bad, it just doesn't feel right. Valley Girl Nautica is such a good idea. The water bottle jokes to be made, absolutely. Striker actually summed that up perfectly. Eyes Wide Open Entertainment. It's definitely different. My only exposure to Skids as a character was his Bayverse iteration. Him being so Scottish and having amnesia is interesting and more than meets the eye. Really want to learn about Nightbird. She's the only lady I've ever seen Transformers series that like ship themselves to him. Don't complain about the fandom when you give us nothing. You see, I've always toyed with like an idea of like what is Nightbird to the Decepticons, what is Nightbird to Megatron. I like the idea of Nightbird still being like not fully Cybertronian, like she was built as a drone, like she's artificial, but she gains sentience. So I feel like her being created to be like this perfect drone soldier, but then grappling with the fact that she wants humanity. Well, I don't know what you would call a Cybertronian version of that. Cybertronity, that doesn't sound right, but she wants like some essence of humanity. And I like to think maybe like she was built to be Megatron's bodyguard, but they grow closer and she wonders, like, can she feel like a normal bot? Is she more than just a drone? Lost Light Story of Minerva was going to convince Megatron to use his fusion cannon again in a larger battle when he swore, yes. I don't think he should have given up his fusion cannon. Loki, I kind of want to do that for Beachcomber. I don't want to make him full-fledged pacifist in a war. This isn't a fairy tale. Agreed. It's kind of a luxury to be a pacifist. Even when you're not actively at war, it is a luxury to be a pacifist. And like I said, it's not always practical in the long run. And I'm working on Nightbird's Bludgeon Student. Oh yeah, that's a really cool idea, actually. Have 2 Blade Masters. It's kind of like in the War Chronicles canon I'm working with, before becoming a Wrecker, RC actually was Bludgeon's student. But she decided not to join the Decepticons during the March to Icon, which you can see in my Autovember entry day 10, because all of my Autovember entries are canon to my War Chronicles universe. He swore never to use the canon again because he felt symbolized too much original self and never convinced him to use it again. Like, I understand the symbolism, but on the other hand, having a weapon on your arm is never a bad idea. Like, who the heck is gonna F around with you if you have a giant cannon on your arm? I feel like that would actually reinforce pacifism. G1 Megs was fiending for Nightbird. Oh yeah, G1 Megs. She's hot enough to replace you whenever I choose to Starscream. Which, some strange implications about how he sees Starscream, but we will move on from that. So RC replaced Drift Spot, I see. Yeah, pretty much. I think it's an interesting concept to challenge pacifism in a war story. I agree. CJ, she could be constructed cold like Starscream with an origin similar to IDWRC without the interesting story directions they took with her. So Nemesis Prime exists somewhere. Yes, he does. I've yet to figure out where in the canon he belongs, but he will exist in the War Chronicles universe, and I might do a shorter story somewhere on him. You know, if the larger amount of Meg's exposed to the canon again because he's still scared he'll revert to his old self. Bro, I kind of feel like just put a safety on the cannon so you don't, like, get pissed off and, like, accidentally smack somebody. Like, put like a freaking safety on the cannon, but keep the cannon on you, because that in itself is a deterrent against violence. It encourages the pacifism. Wait, I missed a few messages. When did Megatron give up his fusion cannon IDW? It was like not that long for the DJD attack, if I remember correctly. Could have been before that, but I think I've missed some more than meets the eye issues. But I've read most of them. I have a general sense of more than meets the eye story. And else bummed we never got to see what happened to him Bulkhead and Breakdown in TFP. They build up one hell of a lost friendship, and we don't get anything more than that. Yeah, Breakdown got freaking shafted. Like, he got torn up by Mech, survived, albeit with a broken eye, then got killed, torn up by Mech again, piloted by Silas, experimented on by Knockout. Sorry, I mixed Breakdown and Knockout, but got experimented on by Knockout. And now his zombie corpse is lying on the Nemesis because he got killed by Arachnid for a frickin' second time. Like, Breakdown deserved better. And he deserved to have an enemies to besties arc with Bulk. RC Under Bludgeon is very interesting, out of the left field in a good way. Okay, good, because out of left field in a wrong way, like I try to surprise people when I do stuff, but like within reason. Like, some things I play it safe, and other things I'm like, but what if? I need to go back to writing this series, if nothing else, just for the Megs Minerva subplot. Yes, I encourage this, Striker. I would 1000% watch this when you make it. Prince, I'm a bit annoyed about Breakdown, lack of story, screw Arachnid. Yes, she's probably the most deadly version of Arachnid, Black Arachnia, in my opinion. But she's also like not annoying technically, but like sort of like when she shows up, you're like, shoot, this girl again. The DJD scare me, as they should. You should watch Swagwave SM's Halloween special on the DJD from a few years ago. That was crazy. Butchered him and his character, dude. Crazy work. Yes. So pissed about Breakdown getting thrown out. Like, bro died like 3 or 4 times. Like, Prince, if you're talking about what I'm talking about, this is my IDW story. Megs basically switched sides of the story before the death of Optimus Prime. Accidental ship name mentioned. Oh, yeah. Breakout. Yeah, actually, That sounds about right for a ship name. Tarn's one of the scariest characters I've ever seen. Some mildly intimidating goons and Nickel. Why the frick is Nickel so adorable? Yes. I feel like Nickel is like I love the mom vibes that she gives off. Like, yes, these are the most terrifying Decepticons in Megatron's army, but they'll be fragged if they don't brush their teeth and take their meds because Dr. Nickel said so. Megatron discarded his cannon not long after the event, has been terrified to wear it again ever since. Yep. DJD is supposed to be scary. If they scare you, they're doing something right. Yes. There only starts to be something wrong. Like if you look at like Tarn and think, now that is a role model. Then I start to have concerns. Speaking of Tarn, Tarn replaces Overlord in my Lost Light story. Oh my word. So you're telling me that Chrome Dome has to go into Tarn's mind and fiddle around looking for like phase 6 or information or whatever? Tarn worshippers are a little strange. Oh yeah, I could never. Literally could never. Like he's straight up terrifying. I didn't make him so much of a DJD member in Praxus Run, I guess, but I honestly should have emphasized his voice more. Maybe there should be a prequel where I emphasize his voice more because that's kind of his gimmick. Rackham had me saying, "Oh, this B" multiple times while watching the show, but man, I love that foil. She played RC, but is written phenomenally in the show. Yes, I agree. RC is done extremely well in TFP, especially compared to some of the newer media we see RC in. If I can get a Chrome Dome, yeah. Did they reissue the Titans Return Chrome Dome at all? I can't remember if they did, honestly. They did, okay. Syria Tute Productions says yes, they did reissue the Chrome Dome. Maybe you can get one then. Oh, that is a role model. That's crazy. Yeah, I don't know anyone off the top of my head. I don't know anyone off the top of my head who would think of Tarn as a role model, but you never know. People simp over strange characters in Transformers. I'm just gonna list off the main characters from my original Lost Light series so you know who I'm working with. Yeah, honestly, I'd love to see what your Lost Light cast looks like. I mean, as long as you got Rodimus, Megatron, Magnus, like they're obviously the core of the group. Tarn scares me because he makes you think of real serial killers with his music and how freaking calm he is in the act. Now he's like a disciple of a false god, Megatron's school shooter vibes. Dude, that's crazy. But yeah, Tarn's in Panda Jack's canon is different, has a solid origin and backstory. I love Panda Jack's take on Tarn. It's not one I would personally go with for Tarn, but I do love it a lot. Like the way it portrays like his hero worship of Megatron and how he's like the model Decepticon, but then he snaps. Like Panda Jack did a really good job with that, and I wish he made more along that vein because it was very cool. Dude, we need Tailgate. Yes, CJ, I agree. We need Tailgate 1000%. We need our little baby who at some point could like super punch through like a ship's hull or whatever. Let's see, Rodimus, Magnus, Megs, Dinobots, Wheelie. Oh, Wheelie would be a fun one to add on there. Minerva, Junkions, Clampdown, Skids, Twitch, Brawn, Oktar. This will make sense from reading the script. Slammer, Cog, Goldbug, Silverstreak, Cyclonus. Is Goldbug the same as Bumblebee in your canon, or like related to Bumblebee, or just different? Little unroasted marshmallow. Okay, CJ, that is the best description I've ever heard of Tailgate in my life. He is not a different dude. Yeah. Whirl is so much greater than he has any right to be. I freaking love Whirl. Whirl's like the Deadpool of the Lost Light. Like he's so violent and out of pocket, but he can actually be like kind of kind of down to earth. Like he would probably like ruin your relationship for you know, crap and giggles, but then he would also like help you hide a body. That's how Whirl is to me. There's a lot of characters Hasbro needs to do, rather they reissue the same repaint multiple times. You know, they got really lazy at the tail end of Legacy. I feel like everything's a reissue or repaint. I'm very excited for Age of the Primes, but I feel like they always get lazy towards the end of a line, and then they come out swinging with the beginning of the next line. I love Swerve, so underappreciated as hell. Oh, Swerve is funny. I love his whole sponsored silence thing he was going through because he couldn't shut the heck up. No, wrong, bro. Wrong? Like, he was interesting. I liked him. He was good foil to the Lost Light crew. I wouldn't consider him the most essential, which I know is crazy to say because he's like Primus incarnate, but I said what I said. Whirl's an asshole with a massive heart and fan fictions about his co-workers. I forgot about that. Age of Prime's honestly what I wanted Legacy to be. True. I kind of feel like at this point they're just going to keep changing the name, but it's basically still going to be Legacy. Like it's still going to be like a multiversal, like characters from different fandoms remolded into like a G1-esque aesthetic. Let's see. Perceptor, Hauler, Cheetor, Crosshairs, Deep Cover, and more. Ooh, Crosshairs on the Lost Light would be very interesting, actually. I could see him playing an almost Whirl-esque role on the Lost Light. Figures of characters we never got or don't get much of. Okay, I don't know how many people want this, but I would really love to see like a new mold, or even just like maybe a retool of the Megatronus mold for an IDW Turmoil. He's that big Decepticon general that's in Robots in Disguise. He's got like the eye patch. Used to be Drift's general, but I honestly think he'd be really cool. That, and I want the IDW variant of Prowl that's like buff and he's got giant rockets on his shoulders and he turns into like a Cybertronian SUV. Swerve had his own world-ending version of Cheers and thought I wouldn't notice the reference. Fair, that's fair. I'm hoping Heatwave looks good with Legacy Bulkhead mold because I really want more rescue bots. I agree. I'm a little disappointed that Heatwave is a Bulkhead mold because it's not my favorite mold. It could be better, honestly. I really want Turmoil. Yeah, same. Megatronus is so cool. He is literally, like, I did not expect him to be so cool, nor did I expect them to go with his Dreamwave look, but I am so freaking glad they did. Need more IDW figures. Yeah, I'm disappointed with Heatwave. Yeah, you know, honestly, that's fair. Heatwave confirmed as a Bulkhead remold. Yes, they don't have images for him yet, but they have like promo art for their boxes that's been leaked. I think if you go to like go check out like Black Convoy on Instagram. I don't know if Mark Clonis has anything up yet, probably not. But like Black Convoy is a good one that I always go to for my news, or Ruination 2.0. Also, where are the Max Balls and Predacons ranked in your series? Aligned fans have been getting nothing but the middle finger all of Legacy. Yeah, like, I understand that, like, some of the more anorexic looking ones, like Starscream or Arachnid, would be hard to do. But, like, bro, stop teasing us. Like, give us the good characters. Give us our Slenderman Soundwave in Legacy, but don't screw it up. I did not approve the use of the Bulkhead mold for Heatwave. It's not a bad mold, but no, wants to use consistently. That's where I am about it. It's not the worst mold in existence, but I feel like they're just gonna do it to death. Dreamwave made me make a bumper custom. Anyone believe World just totally adopted the scrapless form he meant in the Christmas special? Like, that's his daughter now. I don't make the rules. You know, I actually read a really interesting headcanon that I think it was from Kai something. It was an artist on Instagram and Pinterest, but their headcanon was that the Whirl from Rescue Bots is actually the daughter of IDW Whirl. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. I always feel like Whirl would be like one of those like dad and the dog stories. Like, I don't want the dog, dad and the dog, but with a kid. They make a bumper custom just to kill a guy. I used 86B, clipped off his ears, and gave him a visor. Nice. I'm always terrified to like actually customize my figures because I don't want to freaking like do anything permanent. I have commitment issues with customization, so I just like use tape or like just use a different figure and say that it's the figure it is. Theory has a lot of evidence based on Rescue Bot's world. There's an image with Locker. There's a image of IDW world with Rescue Bot's world. Wait, for real? I never actually noticed that. That's awesome. It might be time for me to shut off the stream, y'all. I wrapped my shot a little bit ago, and it's probably time for me to hit the hay here in a sec. Start clearing the setup for tomorrow night's shoot. What's her name? Is she just Whirl Jr.? Her name is also Whirl, I think. Let's see. I'm gonna start. Okay. I don't actually know how to get like a video screen share set up on here, but do you guys want to wrap this stream with a sneak peek at the opening scene for Wreckers Penance? When's your next live gonna be? I'll try to make it sooner next time. Probably, let's see, maybe January. Don't hold me to that. I'm kind of spontaneous with my live streams, although I do want to plan it more. Yes, okay. Okay. I haven't quite figured out how to get the video set up yet, so bear with me. I'm gonna export the sneak peek from Premiere Pro. I'm gonna put it on my iPad, and then y'all can watch it from my iPad. I know that sounds a little funkety, but it'll be like, just think of it like when people take videos on their phones of like the trailers for like a D23 project, and you're just like watching like a leaked trailer basically. Okay, Wreckers Penance _1. Let's see. Oh, thank you for the hearts, whoever sent the hearts. I don't know what you call those, if you just straight up call those hearts or like what you call them. Here I am showing my age, being new to all of this. Let's see, I'm just gonna export sequence 1. Oh no, sequence 1's already here. Put it there. It may take a minute to export because I always export to 4K because I like having a high quality vid. Do you have a server besides the Wreckers VA server? Yes, I do. It's called the War Chronicles Command Center. I should have a link in my bio on my YouTube and my Instagram. I didn't realize you weren't actually in my other server, but you're totally welcome to join. We got Wreckers Penance leaked for GTA 6. Oh my god. I'm really flattered that you're comparing freaking Wreckers Penance to GTA 6. I know it has taken over a year to make Wreckers Penance. It has taken me a long time. But I'm very flattered that you are comparing the leak of Wreckers Penance to GTA 6. I know it's a meme, but I'm still flattered. We got Wreckers Penance leak before Reactivate. Oh, we'll probably get the full Wreckers Penance, like parts 1, 2, and 3, and then like the full movie before we get Reactivate. Animation's no walk in the park. Thank you. I love stop motion. I honestly don't know how people do traditional animation. Like, I think stop motion's hard when I don't have to create the assets for animation, but traditional animators, they have to freaking create the assets, and it's crazy. Okay, so it's done exporting the project, so I'm going to airdrop it to my iPad. Again, I know this is a crazy roundabout way of doing this, but still, should be fun. Once I figure out where I put it, because I don't remember which folder I put it in. Darn it. Sequence 1. No, here it is. Trying very hard not to show my face. Let me know if it's working. Frame by frame is hell. Don't know if we'll ever get reactivate. I want us to get reactivate so badly, but my Magic 8 Ball says outlook not so good, if you know what I mean. Okay, let's see. And yes, I am watching the chat from here, because if I watch the chat from my computer, you guys will see my face, and I'm not ready for that kind of commitment yet. Bye, Sonic. Nice having you in here, man. I don't think every prime will ever beat Armada for me. I like Armada. He's a cool guy. Let's see. Did I get the airdrop for... Oh, this is my script. Hang on. Has it? No, okay, it hasn't airdropped yet. Hang on. Snap loop footage. Wee. Sonic. Yeah, Armada Prime's figure of the year for me. Bye, CJ. Nice seeing you. Or no, wait. Oh no, CJ, you're not leaving. No, that's just Sonic saying bye. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Wait, is it showing up here? Hang on. My airdrop is being funky, y'all. Like it is straight up not having a good time. My second, he might make it to the top 10. Death's Head. No, I'm not leaving. Good to know, CJ. Okay, hang on. 1 second. Bear with me. This is frozen for some reason. It's trying so hard and getting so, but in the end, will it even matter? I tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. Okay, let's see. Let's see. I'll watch the chat for a second while I wait for this. Even editing takes much longer than it should. Agreed. Like, editing, it should be illegal how long editing takes. Gain a second to give him a wired cape. Ooh, I love wired capes. They're so cool. I think floor polish would fix loose ankles. Not actually sure. Hey, Nickelback. Wait, is that a Nickelback song? I only heard it from Linkin Park. Was it Nickelback before it was Linkin Park? Oh, okay. Okay, just gotta make sure I'm not going crazy here. I don't know why it's not airdropping. Is my Bluetooth on? Okay, yeah, my Bluetooth is on. Please bear with me. I promise you I will get this done. Let me try closing my Finder and then... Let's see. Try to use some glue. Doesn't work for Marvel Legends. Yeah, Marvel Legends are quite a bit gummier than like. Okay, let me try to export this not as 4K. Let me just go like full HD and see if that helps. Okay, so it's going to take like 40 seconds to export, and then I'll see if I can airdrop it without my computer exploding. Rubber cement or hot glue, flexible enough but strong. I use floor polish, tighten figure joints. I use a tiny bit and apply it with a paintbrush. Wow, this is really detailed. Like, if I ever get into customizing, I know who to call. Okay, let's see. Can I get a new Finder window? Yes, I can. Okay. Okay, sequence 1, open. Let's see. Maybe if I text it to my iPad, it'll go better. Yeah, let's try that. Let me bring back up the stream so I can see y'all. Where are we at? Customized Deadpool and Wolverine. Dang, must have done some really good detailing on that, because the Deadpool Wolverine I've seen, the Marvel Legends ones, they're actually really detailed as far as Marvel Legends go. Let's see if the text is loading. Has it sent? Perhaps. Yes, downloading it. And we have it. Pardon me while I disable autoplay on this, because Apple defaults to autoplay on videos. Autoplay videos and live photos turn off. Okay, chat, are we ready to go? Wreck and rule, yes sir. Okay. CJ says, ready, finna turn live on my TV. Okay, eyes wide open, I'll wait just 1 second for you to get that metal to the pedal. Yes, okay, let's go. You ready?
RC! Warpath! Javelin! Impactor! The best of the best, the scourge of the Decepticons. These are the Fearless Wreckers!
Well, Commander Magnus, that was the data vid that sparked it all. Since the release of the Wreckers declassified data vids, Autobot morale has increased by 49% in the past million years. What's your secret?
Thank you, Beachcomber. It's no secret. Stories of success inspire our troops and give them confidence both on and off the battlefield. Wreckers Declassified is just a way of publicizing ordinary bots doing extraordinary things.
Do you have any opinions on the criticisms that Wreckers Declassified is romanticizing war and simply paying actors to spread propaganda?
Firstly, I want to say that the Wreckers are all very real bots. Their exploits have often been the difference between victory and defeat, and their leader, Impactor, is one of our finest warriors. Secondly, after 1.5 million years of war, I think we can safely say that every bot on Cybertron is familiar with the concept. Wreckers Declassified is not meant to romanticize war or spread false information. This is how we acknowledge everyday heroes who aren't Optimus Prime or Grimlock, and give our troops people to look up to.
You're watching the Autobot Intelligence Network, where freedom of information is the right of all sentient beings. And there we have it, folks. Let me break out the chat, because it was kind of hard to see the chat while setting this up, and I kind of want to see what your guys' thoughts were on it. Break out the chat. Okay. Rainmakers. Hey Rubbish, nice to see you. Just using him as a random seeker, honestly. Running animation was funny, not gonna lie. It's one of my first running animations ever. It does look kind of funny, but I do think it fits in the context that it's in. Warpath's a really cool guy. If you know, you know. Yes, he is. Hearing the announcer, his line again is weird as hell. It is always so weird to hear yourself on recording. Bulkhead, bruh. Bro just pulled a Zoom call faux pas, yeah. Bulkhead was forgotten for this project, no. Oh yeah, it looks awesome. Yes, I like it. Insanely smooth motion. It's amazing. Oh man, oh well. Yeah, no guys, this has been a great live stream, and I've had a lot of fun just having like a couple of people in the chat so we can actually like have conversations, go back and forth. If I ever like get a bunch more subscribers, I will definitely miss that. But I'll always remember that you were the OGs. So I'll be putting this video up for later. So if you missed the live stream, you can come back and watch and see if anyone had the same questions you did and just enjoy the good vibes. And if any of you aren't, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment below with more questions or ideas for a future live stream. And if I don't get to tell you guys all this before the 25th, Merry Christmas, everyone. And till all are one.